Welcome back to OpenLine. In the wake of the attacks in Paris, a lot of heated rhetoric when it comes to immigration. We have with us immigration attorney Elliot Osment and several calls. Let's go back to the phones. Lucy. Hello, Lucy.
Hey, y'all. How you doing?
Great. What's on your mind?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that I am a redneck. I'm a bona fide, by blood. My ancestors were the ones that they coined the term off of. And Mr. Osment, you are correctly using the term redneck in its proper context because that's what they used to call us, we're stupid, ignorant rednecks. And it had everything to do with religion. And it didn't have anything to do with your butt being lily white and your neck burning in the sun. It came from religion. And what's going on when I see politicians on TV that have hoodwinked a lot of Christians down the road for about the past 30, 35 years and using their religion for hate to stir up, saber rattling, and to do all this posturing so they can get reelected. But, for war or to scare people, and they think that they're super ignorant rednecks. You see what I'm saying? This is insulting to the people that are buying into this. And, since American history has become, we've had groups like the KKK that came from the same group of people, the German Bund movement, the Black Legion of Wisconsin, and they all do the same thing. And they all came from the same place. Not the place where my stupid redneck ancestors came from, but from another place where they make money off of war. Now, I've listened to one of the political candidates. His father is an immigrant from Cuba, and he has used the word jihad repeatedly in his campaign rhetoric, and people right now are trying to go politically incorrect and use all this crap-stirring stuff to go up just to get reelected. And,
But you disagree with some of that rhetoric.
Well, the gentleman that just called earlier saying, how the states are, put in charge of this to a degree. But here people want the federal government out of their business. They want to build these empires and become the federal government. We've got the state of Tennessee right now in Nashville school system. So what's all this stuff about rights? They talk like the Indians said with a forked tongue.
Okay, Lucy. All right, thank you. A lot there. What do you think about what Lucy said?
Well, I'm certainly sympathetic to what she said about the political candidates from Cuba. Every time I hear them talk, I think just maybe, in fact, I thought about sending them a note and telling them maybe you can use the same boats to deport these people that your family used to get here from Cuba. I thought about sending them a note.
So this is in the presidential, on the Republican side.
I'm afraid so.
It's Marco Rubio, I believe.
And Ted Cruz.
And Ted Cruz. That's who you are. Okay, let's go to Kip. Hello, Kip.
Hello.
Hi, what's on your mind?
I thought until Mr. Osment spoke that I was the voice, excuse me, crying in the wilderness. This is all about the late 30s Germany. We ought to go in, take them out, cut the head off now. As far as immigration, there's not a person in this nation that was not an immigrant or an ancestor's immigrant at one time or another, including Native Americans. We should welcome them.
So you're concerned when you hear some of the rhetoric we're hearing?
I'm absolutely, well, first of all, we ought to go after ISIS, first of all. Secondly, this nation is made up of immigrants. Why are we turning them back now?
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Kip. So that's another call along those lines.
I have no issue with that caller whatsoever. I totally agree. And I think that this should not be a U.S. fight. I think that the United States should join with a very wide band of nations and present a united front, including those in the Middle East, that claim to be our allies. And those are the people that ought to be on the ground fighting ISIS and going after them. Of course, with United States assistance, but not us alone. I don't think this is a fight that we need to wage alone.
Let's go to Christian. Hello, Christian.
Yes.
Hi. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm curious if the immigration lawyer knows about the 5 Syrians that were arrested in Honduras today trying to get into the U.S. with fake passports.
So
No,
5 Syrians arrested in Honduras trying to get into the U.S. with fake passports.
Yes.
I have not seen that report.
That is on several news stations, and these are 5 men. These are all military age young men trying to get into the U.S. with stolen and fake passports. And what I'm hearing, you continue to call it rhetoric, and I don't understand why you call it rhetoric. A lot of people are giving their opinions and giving insight into a situation we've all got to make decisions on. And the safety of our country is the most important thing, no matter what. All of us are okay with immigration because, as you said, we're all immigrants to some degree. But we've also got to be wise and smart. And I think that it's only wise and smart that, considering the circumstances and considering what's happening in Europe and considering things like what just happened in Honduras, that we need to be wise and smart and not put ourselves in any more danger than we have to. And I think that it's unbelievably sensationalistic and illogical to make comparisons to Nazi Germany and things like that. It's ridiculous, and that's a lawyer's tactic to try to draw false comparisons. So we need to look at the situation we're in, be wise, and do things that are going to protect us. That's our number one job. And then if we can then offer shelter for those who are truly being persecuted, then that's fine. The fact of the matter is there's no way to vet anyone coming from Syria. Who are you going to call to vet them? That's another question.
Okay, well, let's talk about all of that. And I appreciate that call. I appreciate that point of view. In the wake of what's happened, safety is important. That's what he's saying. That's what others are advancing. What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, I've not seen this report that he's referring to. I'll certainly look into that when I get home. But if you examine closely what he said, there were 5 Syrians caught trying to come through Honduras. How do we know that? We know that because they were caught. We have a strong defense system here and a strong intelligence system. And to me, what the caller has done is proven my point, that we have a system that's perfectly capable of spotting people that are a threat to our society. Now,
but in the wake of what's happened, do you have concerns? Does it raise concerns for you? And is there some extra step we should take because of the hatred that is out there and what we have just seen in Paris? That would be his question, I guess.
I think there's an extra step we should take. Let me give you a couple of statistics to make the point I'm about to make. This caller might not realize it, but the FBI has a terrorist watch list. And on that list are 700,000 names. Those are people that are already here in the United States. Now, from the year 2004 until the year 2014, 2,400 of those people on that terrorist watch list were able to purchase guns legally in the United States. And they tried to purchase, and 2,043 successfully purchased guns in the United States. Did you realize that it's not against the federal law for a suspected terrorist to buy a gun in the United States? Alberto Gonzales, the dean of Belmont Law School today, back when he was Attorney General, recommended that we pass a law making it illegal for a person on the terrorism suspect list to buy a gun. And the NRA killed him. And today, it's legal for any one of those 700,000 people to go and buy a gun. Now, does that scare me? Yes, and it should scare that caller that just called.
Let's go. Do we have to take a commercial or another call? Okay, let's go to John. Hello, John.
Hey, hello, how you doing?
Great. What's on your mind?
Hey, what planet are you on? I'm sorry. My family came over here through Ellis Island, my grandpa and all that. They went through checks. You know, I'd hear stories of how they came in, and some of them were sick and they quarantined them. My concern is for, you know, communicable diseases in other parts of the country. You know, these people come in and it's great. We're immigrants. There's no jobs. How are we going to pay for it? You know, America the free. I agree with all that. It just frustrates me that this seems to me like they're just like walking on in. Let me see your papers. Come on in. I don't understand the theory on it. There was a way to come in this country legally in the day, and, you know, we welcomed them. People came in, you know, Italians. I'm a Polak, so, you know, for all that stuff, Polish, you know, persecution with all the jokes and stuff, but, you know, survived that, and you know, I feel bad for the kids and the women, you know, but, you know, you don't know who to trust by who you can tell. You can't look at them, and they're just coming on in and wandering the streets, and, you know, hey, I just think it's going to be a disaster. I wish the best for everybody that comes in. I wish nothing bad. I'm praying for everybody.
Right.
I just don't think it works in a perfect world. You know, you try to make this perfect world, we don't have it, and I'm just kind of frustrated at that whole idea of it. And I'm not trying to insult anybody. But
No, okay. I think people. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think we've already discussed that people are not just walking off a boat and presenting papers. That's how simple it used to be at Ellis Island. To repeat, refugees nowadays don't just walk off of a boat onto Ellis Island and get inspected by a doctor and then are set free to roam the streets of New York. A refugee today has to go through a 24 to 36 month vetting process. And only after that are they placed with a charity like Catholic Charities in our community. And then Catholic Charities looks after them and makes sure that they are resettled properly.
And that is true for the Syrian refugees that are in question.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right, we're going to take a break and we'll go through more calls. We have a bunch of calls. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this.